Is War of the Worlds truly worse than you think as suggested by the tagline? No, but it's still pretty bad. This film currently has a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes, was released straight to Prime Video, and had a 0% for many, many days. It stars Ice Cube, Eva Longoria, and fucking Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Real twofer here. This, of course, is another adaptation of the 1938 radio broadcast done by Orson Welles' War of the Worlds, but with a twist. That being everything is searching style, where everything is seen through a computer or a phone screen. But whereas that and its sequel Missing, which is the only one I've actually seen, are like simple, tense thrillers, this is a full-on alien invasion movie, told through a fucking computer screen. Ice Cube works as a Department of Homeland Security like threat analyst, who's also like super overprotective of his two kids. He has the power and ability to like hack everything in an instant and look through every sort of camera. And he uses this to spy on his daughter, and it has this little description thing describing her baby daddy. But he also uses it to save the world from data stealing aliens, and I am not joking. This movie, it's so hard to tell sometimes whether they're trying to take itself seriously or not, because Ice Cube inherently in this is pretty funny, both in ways that are expected and ways that aren't. Like, this is some of the most laughable line delivery, and it's just him reading off of a screen, so I'm assuming that's how he got his lines, maybe? I don't know. This was made during the height of COVID and then shelved for 5 years, so it kind of makes sense. Like, this is a full-on Universal Studios production that they kind of just gave to Prime Video to shove all their Amazon product placement into, only to release a trailer 2 weeks before it came out with no press interviews. It is such an ambitious concept that's just so all over the place, and I like the concept of all these, like, screen life movies. I definitely didn't just make that term up, but it sounds believable, and I think it could have worked if there was a higher budget, because all of this like CGI alien shit just does not look good, and if they hired different people for the main central roles. Like, everyone's taking it so goddamn seriously except Amazon billboard Roderick and Ice Cube half the time. There's some interesting character details, and then there's some bullshit that they pull. But I found myself at a couple points being like, oh, this is kind of an interesting concept or setup. This could have been a fresh take, but I think if they had more competent filmmakers behind the helm, this would have been less lame. I feel like I usually don't find myself saying that about movies, but when the third act kind of concluded, I was just like, wow. For the scale of everything, this is how it goes down, at least visually speaking from our perspective, which makes sense because of the limitations of like the actual filmmaking standpoint. It is not the worst thing I've ever seen. Hell, it's not the worst thing I've seen this year. Like, it didn't make me mad. There was just so much wasted potential here. Like, I feel like I've seen a lot of creators on here be like, oh, I'm gonna claw my eyes out if I ever think about this movie ever again. Like, type shit like that. You know, I try and be positive about these things. I didn't go into this being like, oh, I'm gonna want to hate this. I get the limitations. But then again, why go for it? I ended up giving this movie a 1 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Have you seen it? What did you think? Remember, all movies are art, including this one, and of course, follow for more.